this group, who hopefully will all be there tomorrow, has voted and agreed that we want to pause, at least stop immediately, the proposal that the board has made, and we want to stop until we get these questions answered.
That's exactly what we're all saying.
And it just don't focus on a list
That's what we're saying. We need to get those list of
not
questions.
solutions.
No.
Hiring an outside party, I think, should be a question. Have you considered doing that? And if not, why not?
Do we,
Outside party do what?
all right, do we want to hire an outside party? Do we even know that?
To do
We
what?
don't know that. That's a question we want to ask the board.
To do what?
Have they,
Oh,
maybe they've done
yes,
that.
I agree with Jim. We want to go to this meeting tomorrow, someone representing all of us, saying, stop the assessment,
Yes.
and this is the reason, these are the reasons why.
Yes.
You should, no?
Yes.
No. I'm hearing
No.
something
So
over here.
why, just stop, don't even get.
Stop.
Why? Say what we need.
Just no, just
Say what we
say
need.
and tell us
Yes.
how much time you want for, to do everything else, and that's it. That's it, nothing else, nothing else.
Hi.
Because they got the answers to everything.
I'm Matt. I was really going to say something very similar to that. That among, literally our only condition right now for today can be 6 months. Right?
Yeah.
We want 6 months, and we can agree informally here. We'll get back together in 2 weeks or a month or whatever you want to do. But we can put off this question of this extensive discussion about what goes on which list of questions and demands. We can put that off and say for today, only condition 6 months, and we have a consensus.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
They don't.
I don't know, 6 months seems like a long time.
It does
The entire winter.
What?
You're gonna-
We can shorten that up. I'm fine with that.
No, I don't know the holiday.
Yeah.
So I spoke to one of the, my name's Brandy, and I spoke to one of the board members who said this is between you and me, so, but there's it sounds like something pretty epic urgent that they have to get done, immediately, for us to keep our insurance. And,
Oh. Who told you that, then?
the insurance
Yeah, okay, so that's.
Our
So
insurance
this,
is fine.
this information we may not know. We may not.
There's
have to.
somebody sitting among us who I understand was influential in encouraging this assessment at this time. If she would be willing to speak up, it would be to edify all of us. So I'm throwing that out there. Pardon me? The other thing is, in Jason's letter at the bottom of the first page, he says, provided is a 10-year spreadsheet of our expenditures on infrastructure through December 2011. I went over those. They're horrendous numbers. Then he says these expenses were roughly half the amount needed to deal with our aging infrastructure. We have been trying to avoid spending money, and now that penny-wise,
Okay.
that penny-wise, pound-foolish policy has had the predictable result. I think we can start the conversation with his own words.
Okay. So Abby, did you want, Abby, you gonna go? You have something you wanna say before you go?
Yes, how do I get my money back?
Abby paid the money already.
Go in and ask Barney for it.
I
don't think he deposited. I don't think he's deposited any checks yet.
Ask for it back.
Just go ask Barney for it back.
Okay.
I don't think he's deposited any checks yet.
No.
Back up just a
He wants to back up a minute.
The 6 month thing, if there are critical infrastructure problems, 6 months, especially in the worst time of year, you may not be able to push it back like that. I mean, the question that, I forgot your name, sir.
Bruce.
Bruce. Okay, can we in fact halt the process right now until we find out what
Yes.
has to be done?
Do you know what
Yes or no?
that we can't?
We
How do I
can't do
get
it
it back?
without replacing the We can ask them to do it, we can demand that they do it, but it's with an implied threat that if they
Right.
don't do it, then
Right.
we replace it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is just a request at this point, we can't force them to do anything.
That's right, but with the understanding that if
If they don't,
you can stop.
And how can we replace the board?
Well, 50
We'll need a petition of 51%, that's
No,
what.
what you need is,
place.
let me,
Yeah.
I'll explain the procedure. There's a lot of rules like this in the bylaws about how many people you need to do different things. For a special meeting, which is what the meeting tomorrow is, you need 75% of the members in attendance to vote to change to broaden the scope of the meeting, to bring up other topics beyond what the special assessment is. And this topic tomorrow is not a discussion, a debate of the special assessment. This is just an opportunity for the board to tell us what they've already decided is going to happen. You know, we don't have any say over that, other than the implied threat that if we set a list of demand and do that.
I thought that we have 75%, we can.
No, that's just for the members in attendance to change the agenda of a meeting. To replace the board, you have to have a simple majority. We can't do anything with the assessment directly.
He's explaining this. So can you?
We as homeowners cannot do anything to stop the assessment ourselves. All we can do is ask or demand that the board do that. They can do it, we cannot. All we can do is have the implied threat that if they don't do what we want, then we will just replace them. To replace them, it doesn't require petitions or anything like that. What you do is you either have to have 50% of the homeowners show up at a meeting and actually vote with their hands, or you collect proxies, which are written statements from them saying that they give somebody else the authority to vote their shares in the association. And those people can either be directed to vote for or against specific items, or you could just give them a general proxy and they can vote however they feel like at any time. So that's what we would need to collect, and that would be for the next regular meeting, which would be on the 20th of September. And at that point, suppose that we could have enough proxies, we would just vote out the vote. Again, I'm with everyone else that we ought to give them a chance. We ought to say all we want now is just to delay the assessment as long as necessary until we get the list of items addressed. And then, again, if they don't do it, then we have to follow through with the rest.
Yeah, I agree. That being said, I think it would be the prudent thing to have the proxies in hand just in case.
On the 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce.
Well, that plan is great. I think it's a great plan. I think one thing we have to be cognizant of is that we have an offer from the siding company to do our siding, and they are going to defray the cost over a couple of years and pay that off. We have to pay them $50,000 by whatever the date is Jason has here.
That contract has not been signed according to bond.
Yeah, it's quite a.
Right, but if we want them, the board, if we don't get this contract signed, the board is going to fritter our money away and not put siding on it.
But that's not going to be a problem by tomorrow.
Well, maybe, but anyway, what I'm saying is the board is not going to agree to not get some money at least to do some of the things.
Let's see tomorrow.
They're just not, they're not going to.
Let's find out tomorrow.
I'm saying we can find out tomorrow. I'm saying we should be prepared for the fact that they're not going to agree to let us do this. So, and that's where his plan to have the proxies in hand for the next meeting, get rid of them is great. But they're going to want our money September 1st.
Yeah.
If they don't exceed more demand to delay.
And so we just need to be prepared for that.
We need someone to represent us.
I have a question for anybody who has the answer. I think Cheryl does.
You want to hold until she comes back?
No, I'd like to ask the question, and if somebody knows, let me know. Usually, at least for the homeowners that I belong to, the manager has a fund that is saved for sale. And it is for capital improvements. It does not go for daily expenditures. And I understood that this place had a capital improvements long-term fund, which was disbanded or dissolved into.
No, it's still in the budget, and.
But it was spent.
It was spent, though.
It's spent down to the legal minimum, I believe. We
Yeah,
can't
but
spend
it
any more
wasn't-
out of it without going to the.
Yeah, but is So I guess it's not an issue for now.
Okay.
The question I had, if Barney was pulling money from that erroneously, or if the money was going to these line items that it's saved for. And that's my main point is to ask for assurance that for any funds that are paid on this assessment goes into the capital improvements fund and is not used for daily operating costs. And where's the oversight on that happening?
I think it's a great
Because
question.
I think we need some oversight. You need more than one signature, the signatures over so much.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I don't know the answer. Sorry.
Well, it's a question I'd like to ask tomorrow.
Yes, that's right.
And I'd like to ask the board.
So I have a question written up.
It's capital improvement fund.
And how is it handled?
I just want to give some information. I've been to about half a dozen meetings, board meetings in the last 2 years, probably more. And in the last 2 years, they have spent all of the capital expenditure budgets on emergencies, unexpected emergencies. A boiler went out, water main breaks, some of them are listed in the letter.
But you don't know the reality of all this stuff.
Just a minute.
But
I'm answering what she's saying. There is a capital expenditure budget. All of the line items on the capital expenditure budget in the last 2 years, hardly anything got done that was budgeted for because of unexpected things coming up. And then like $65,000 to $70,000 in interior damage, that also came out of the capital expenditure budget. That was money that was collateral damage because of the roof leaks, to repair units that were damaged. So that's just to answer the question that you asked, because I've been to quite a few board meetings.
And that's separate from the reserve budget that by law we have to have a certain amount in. So there's two different, the reserve budget and then the capital expenditure budget.
The capital reserves budget was almost over $200,000 at the end of 2010. Now it's at the bare minimum, it's like $77,000 or something like that.
That's
And
not
now
even
we
what
can't
the
touch it because they've spent down.
So where will this assessment, which account does this current assessment go into?
A new bank account was created,
It is
and all
going
the
to be
money is in a
separate.
separate account.
It will be separate. This assessment is completely a separate assessment to address just, it can't be touched except for expenditures related to.
What's your name?
Steve Wallace. I've lived here 3 years.
Okay. Jackie?
People have a lot of questions and there's a lot of detail, and I think it's really good to discuss that. We're just over an hour now in our meeting, so have we figured out? Okay, so we wanted to stop the assessment tomorrow.
Yes.
And are we having Scott present that for us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, Scott, do you want to present it?
Not really, but I'll do it.
Well, I have a question regarding that. Because of the tone of Jason's reply to you,
Okay.
do you want to have, I mean, he can be very confrontational. And he's already replied to you that way, so I'm just throwing it out there, because I know that's why I wouldn't speak.
That's not a problem for me. What is a problem for me is that the number of people that showed up tonight is probably only about a third of the number of people that's going to show up tomorrow. And those people, the other 60 people, they're going to be out of control. And
Right.
if anybody has any ideas about what, how to handle that.
I can help handle that.
Well, we can handle them if you're walking in the door.
I know she's their hand up. Then I want to say something.
You write up this list and put it on a piece of paper and hand it to everybody that walks through the door.
That's a good
Yes.
idea.
I mean, handle all the doors and let people know that there is a group, and you could say how many there are.
Right. As long as everybody gets
You do
that,
that?
and yes, pointed at them.
Okay.
Do you need help?
Jackie's gonna work on that, she just said, that's a great idea, thank you.
Yes.
Forget your name again?
Judy.
Yes.
Does everybody know that there won't be just
owners there tomorrow night, that it will be residents, renters as well?